4 pre-season test race at the Japanese Grand Prix. We're going to be starting next week with our proper calendar, and this is just a pre-season race just to see how everyone gets on and have a feel for everything that's to come in the coming week. So I'm King's Home Joe, and I've got a co-commentator with me for the foreseeable, hopefully for the whole season, Yestin, and yes, so say hello.
Oh, good evening, everyone. I'm a big fan of Japan. Personally, one of my favourite tracks. So hopefully we can have a good pre-season test.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be really exciting. We have only got a short qualifying session for this race. It will actually be full qualifying for the actual season, which is getting underway next week. So there are a couple of different formalities to our league going on here. It's not the 2020 cars. It is the multiplayer car, which is, of course, just a 2020 car, but you can choose your own liveries, and it's just a standard baseline car. So we've got, as we called Formula 4, as you would have probably got a little bit confused, as we are still running Formula 1 cars, but we have got four teams of five drivers in each. Oh, no, sorry, wrong way around. 5 teams of 4 drivers and a reserve car as well. So we have got, which is the red bar on the left hand side, which is against Lee, is the Nintendo F1 team, and we've got the BMW team, which we haven't seen in Formula 1 for about 10 or 11 years now, actually, so that's a bit of a shame, but they're obviously back here with us. And we've got Jaguar, which we were hoping would come up with a green tin on the left hand side there, but it only comes up with a black one, unfortunately. But yeah, they are the Jaguar team. We've got the JCB, the tractor squad, as you can just see there, with the mad scientist, or mad scientist even, coming out the pits. And we've also got the MTV car, which is an infamous Pillars is driving for example there. We've also got difference with the point scoring system. So first place will get only 22 points, not the 25 of normal, and then we'll go down to 19, and 19 will work its all the way down to 20th position, who will get 1 point. So it will just be 1 point between second place and last place, which we're hoping will do really interesting things for the constructors and drivers championships. I don't think there's anything else to really cover on that at the minute, is there?
There's also 2 points for pole position.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
The usual point for fastest lap.
Yeah, you're very right. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, so the 2 points for pole position could also make and break weekends. So if you get fastest lap, pole position, and and win the race, you are quite tidy on points. As we're looking at Meso at the moment in the BMW. Is he in the BMW, or is he in the or do we see an MTV car there? Spin there. Yeah, so just haven't got the right camera. I'm not too sure. We'll get used to the liveries. Obviously this is just a test. So yeah, he's in the reserve Formula 4 reserve car, and that will be run for every team who are testing. So we've got PWS TN38, also known as Paul, in the Jaguar there. So as you see, it's mainly a green livery, but that obviously the base colour is black, so that's why it is a black livery. But I am liking, talking about liveries actually, which is your favourite at the minute, skipping through?
I'm saying that the green Jag. Obviously Jaguar is very infamous for the green colours, especially in the World Endurance Championship and stuff, as Paul starts his lap. Yeah, the JCB one did look good, but can't beat that Jag. So the Jag tops it.
So Jag is, there you go, so Jag's officially livery of the day, and yeah, I do quite like it. And obviously we'll be able to switch and change livery designs and colours into seasons. I don't know if the teams will change. I think they'll probably stay the same, unless they go into administration, of course, and we might have a team takeover. But we'll never know. As we see Paul down in a little lock-up, so we know that Paul's not running any ABS and no TC, either traction control, for people who don't know what TC meant. So obviously in short qualifying we're only going to be running one session of 18 minutes, and whatever tyre you set your fastest lap on is what you're going to start on, not what it's like in full qualifying, but we'll talk about that next week. So yeah, we've just had one time set for iStreams, and Andenj is set a time for the Jaguar team of a 1:27.4, and Paulie Orange. So we'll just wait for these guys just to set a few laps in, and we'll try and find someone. So we've got Ramsell starting a lap, so we'll stick with him just so you can have a little look at the track. And we're coming down into turn 1, which is a double. Well, it's actually turn 1, turn 2, and you're sort of flat through 1 and late onto the brakes, and now you're through the difficult left, right, and left, right again section, and he really is made a little bit of a mess of that into the first part of that, but he's still going to go through. So down into the right-hander, and now up to the famous Dunlop curve, and around we go, and it's pretty much flat in this era of Formula 1 cars. And as we're coming into the first of the two Degners, you want to be quite greedy on the curve on the inside. And there's Degner 2 as well, as we see Paulie Orange getting out of the way, but I don't think it's going to be a representative lap. And yeah, it's coming around the hairpin. I don't think this hairpin's got a name, unless you can correct me, Esther.
I can't recall the hairpin having a name.
I don't think it does either. And this is called the straight that's not a straight. And and this is yeah, of course, Spoon. And then as they say, one of the more hairy corners coming up now, 130R. It's a bit more tame than it used to be a few years ago when they reprofiled it in about the mid 2000s, but it's still, as you see, that's so comfortably flat as we see him coming up to the final chicane. And I think, is he going to try and start another lap? He is, so he's going to go for another lap. And we've only got the one DRS zone on this circuit, as we see now on the start finish straight. As you see, LP is retired from the session. I've been not looking at the timing boards actually. You've been going through the lap with you, and we've got Paulie Orange with a 126.8, and we'll just have a look. Actually, I haven't got any of the graphics up yet. I do apologise. And yeah, so we'll see. He's on the soft compound tyre. So, but Andenj on the mediums. That's a pretty good place to be there, second place, and Evil Hunter as well.
Yeah, if you're going on the mediums, you're going into the mid to high 27s. That's a positive start. If you're going to go on the softs, then you expect them to have a good lap in you.
Yeah, definitely. So we still haven't had a few guys set a lap yet. Have you got any? How many of these guys do you know? Really, I know probably about half the grid, give or take.
The only driver I know off the top of my head is Evil Hunter. I've raced commentated on him a couple of times. Yeah.
So
fairly new to us.
It's all fresh meat for you. So yeah, no, I know a lot of the grids, and there's definitely a few guys I think are going to be fighting for wins here. Certainly, who we're riding with now, Evil Hunter, who we were just talking about. And Denj, another, Paulie Orange, another, Droftas, another, Alahan, another, Infamous Pillars will be another one on top of that. And those are the only, and iStreams as well, I think can certainly have his day when he wants it. So it's definitely going to be. But it's to be fair, I'm saying this, and I haven't actually commentated in F1 2020 yet, and last time was 19. So obviously people's paces have changed between games, so it will be interesting to see for me as well. But yeah, these times are quite close in the midfield. Well, so sorry, it's in the midfield, fighting for the top 3 positions actually at the moment are very close at the moment, which is nice to see. But Infamous Pillars there, taking provisional pole at the moment with a 126.3, a huge margin there of about, what's that, 4/10.
Just shy of half a second.
Yeah, just shy of half a second. So that is a really good time there. And we see the MTV car. Do you like the MTV car? It has a little bit of a Racing Point darker feel to it.
Pillars has nailed that with that livery in fairness.
He definitely,
and he nailed that with
that lap as well. Yeah. As we see, Droftas has obviously made a bit of an error there, because I do not think that's a representative time from dropped us there. He must have made a big mistake in his lap. Paul on an out lap. Once again, he's now going on to the soft compound tyre in the Jaguar. So
I'm still amazed over the Jaguar livery.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I wonder if the guys are going to put some sponsors on the cars, or are they going to leave them bare? I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe they'll get more sponsorships throughout the year.
Starts that.
Yes, he's just getting away now, and we'll just see how he goes through turn 1 and turn 2. Didn't lock up, which is quite easy to do into turn 2 there, especially if you've got a lot of steering angle on when you're braking, which isn't ideal for no anti-lock braking system. And as we see him now coming up, and he's got a car in his way, he's going to have to try and get out of the way, which he does. But Paul was a little bit hesitant there, wouldn't you? Oh, he's been a bit blindsided there by the I think it was the reserve car. I was going to say the Williams there, because it looks a little bit like a Williams. And yeah, he was a little bit blindsided there. A little lock up into the second Degner, coming down into the hairpin, which we've said has got no name. And yeah, he's just being really gingerly on the power there.
Maybe just sandbagging a little bit. If he's not going fully for it, maybe just waiting for that last run.
Oh, when you say that, I think he ran very wide. There was a quick commentator's curse there. Straight off the bat. We're only halfway through qualifying. We already had one. So that's a good things to come, as we've seen. So yeah, the top order hasn't. Paulie Orange is taken back pole position at the moment with another 2/10 off infamous pillars time, and he's just pulling over to the right hand side onto the grass just to make sure to get out of the way. It's quite tricky to get out of the way of people's laps in sector 1, because it's all this sort of chicane after chicane section of track, or you know, the S's up and down the hill here. So we still haven't had 3 guys set a lap at the moment. So I was just looking there, and we saw against Lee having a little bit of trouble there by the looks of things, but with another driver, I don't know if he got in his way.
Just wanted to state out, it is a JCB 1-3, which I thought I'd never see. Well, commented in a Formula 1 qualifying session.
Yeah, I know.
Here we are.
Yeah. I think it's. I think it was good they kept it with brand names anyway. It's much easier for us to remember, as we see CRG Geo join the lobby now. Now it's going to be a little bit of tension. A little bit of anxiety now from George listening in.
Yeah.
As we said, still 3 guys not set a lap. We've got 2 of the guys. We got Parnell and Wells starting I think they're on a lap as we see him. I don't know what livery Wells is in actually.
That must be a Nintendo livery with the red rear wing. You might have gone a little bit off script, but that's it's an interesting livery.
And there's another dark blue, which is slightly different, but I'm guessing he's going to be in the BMW. We just got the livery just slightly wrong, but we can all work that out for next week. As yeah, so these top guys, the top 2, are well and away in the lead at the moment from Mad Scientist in 3rd, but obviously quali pace can be very different to race pace. So we've seen some of the guys do this. So we've got Paul in P10 at the moment, and FIFA Beefy on an out lap for the Nintendo team. A bit controversial that being on a PlayStation as well, actually. And but yeah, no, the Nintendo. Go on.
You could be worse. You could be on a Nintendo Switch and have a Wii team. Then that would be a rivalry.
So of course, in this game, if you join qualifying late, you can still set a lap. So CRG Geo is going to set a lap. It's going to be weird calling him CRG Geo now, because previously he used to be called Gio Maldonado, which I personally liked better. But no, he's changed it to CRG Geo. He's still got his little ring to it.
Especially if you crash, you know.
Well, we can only hope and pray, can't we? As we see Droftas going purple in the first sector. Now he is gunning it on the medium tyres. Oh, of course, actually, Droftas, that soft lap, yeah, definitely not representative, because Droftas likes to do a really slow soft lap before he goes out on his mediums, just to get a doubt of reference. As he clips the grass on the inside there, coming towards Spoon as he goes through the left. He takes a lot of curve on the outside, really greedy there. Didn't probably get as tight into the apex as he was like, nor wide on exit, as we're coming up the hill now to 130R, and he's only got one more braking zone to make before the start-finish line. As we go at the 100-metre board, comes in, he's got a Jag in front of him, and let's hope he doesn't get into his way. He might get a tiny little toe out the corner as he hugs the inside, and he goes P5 with a 127.2.
Good lap on the mediums to put himself at P5.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad lap. He's in good contention there, and he's got enough time. I'm pretty sure, if I know Droftas, he'll have another laps with fuel on board, because he hasn't got enough time to come in and come back out again now, as you can't do a quick pit stop in qualifying. So we've got a few guys on and out lap. We've got the Mad Scientist on and out lap for the JCB team as well. So we've got a JCB 1-3 at the moment. So we've got 1, 3 and 5, and then we've got iStreams, who's the other JCB car. Obviously we might have a couple of other JCB drivers. I'm not 100% sure tonight. I will find out for next week if we have reserves for what team before the race, so I do apologise about that. I'm sure if you check the comments for me, mate, that we might be able to find out. George might tell us what team he's actually reserving for, if he knows, as I know he will be listening in. As we see Fee for Beefy just finished the laps, P9 at the minute, which isn't too bad. He's got iStreams in front of him, which was a bit sketchy, that could have been. That, of course, is the big problem about short qualifying, of course, is a lot of traffic. If there is the almost full grid we have here, 19 drivers at the moment.
It caused a lot of mayhem, especially in the last sector.
Yeah,
and now actually with people coming out the pits.
Yeah, well, there are a huge amount of people just starting to come out of the pit, or out on out laps even. And there are a few guys on laps, so as we're starting to get down to the crunch point of the qualifying session, we will have a look now on the track map, and we're going to try and work out, which is quite hard to do, being a director as well, is trying to find out when people start crossing the line to finish their final laps. So I've got some guys starting laps, and we've got some guys on laps. So I think we've got Mad Scientist is on the lap, and he's about to come through to finish his final lap, because he's not going to have enough time to go again. And yeah, as we see him now coming into the final chicane, and we'll see what time he can set. He's in P4 at the minute, with Andenge ahead of him by a couple of tenths, and he goes into P3. He takes back that third position at the moment. I think these top two guys are pretty. He wasn't far off though, 3 tenths from P2, so he did do a much better lap than he had done previously, as we see here. So we've got Bloomstar, which we haven't spoke about yet, just starting a lap, and Paul just about to cross the line. I think he's just about to set his last time. Yeah, so he didn't improve. So Paul, I think, will be starting at least 12th position at the moment. As we see a car there, Bloomster is gone round in the reserve car at Dunlop Curve. And yeah, that's a little bit killer for Bloomster there, because he's not going to be able to set another lap, so it's going to at least be P10, which means he'll be starting on the set he qualified on. Yeah, sorry, I did say that earlier. It is only the top 10, for people who don't know, top 10 who start on the set they qualified on. As we see, the checker flag has come out now, so we've got guys on laps. People have just started. That infamous Pillars might have been the last guy to cross the line. So we've just got some guys coming down now. We've got some BMW guys just coming down now. We've got Ramsell on the medium tyres in 17th. Where's he going to come? And he stays P17 at the moment. And we've got another all shot down is going to the pits now, so that he's not going to be in a set of laps. So let's just see who's going to be next. It's Alahan coming into the final chicane now. He hasn't set a single lap. So this is his only representative time. Let's see where he comes. Jumps up to P3. Knocks Mad Scientist off the second row. No, sorry, off the first place of the second row of the grid. So we're just going to see now who's going to come around. I think we've got some Jags here. We've got Paul coming into the pits. We've got...
I think Pillars is down in his lap, which...
Wells. Weeze has just gone. Weeze just gone P9, and yeah. So we've got a couple of other guys. iStreams is off the track. I don't know if he was just getting out of the way or he's made a big mistake there. Let's hope it wasn't a big mistake. We've got Matteo, who's invalidated his lap time,
and he hasn't got a front wing.
And he's not got a front wing. I was just on board with them, and yeah. So that is going to be it. So Paulie Orange takes the pole position for the pre-season test race. Obviously that isn't strictly only points for tonight, not points towards the championship, so he would have technically got 2 points for that pole position there. With Infamous Pillars P2, Alahan P3, Mad Scientist P4, and Eng P5, P6 is all shot down, 7th is Drofdas, Matto is P8, P9 is Wes, 10th is Evil Hunter. I'm surprised Evil Hunter's in 10th. 11th is FIFA Beefy, Bloomstar is in 12th, LPE 13th, Paul 14th, 15th against Lee, iStreams is 16th, CRG Geo came in right at the very end. What are you doing there, George, in 17th, Ramsell in 18th, and yeah, we've got one more driver I didn't get to, but luckily I did that straight away because I knew I wouldn't have enough time later on.
Yeah, overall a good qualifying session.
Yeah, not too many dramatics. Not too many dramatics, actually. There wasn't many mistakes. Yeah, so Parnell has not set a time, and Ramsell is just ahead of him in 18th. So yeah, 19 runners for this race. And yeah, we're just going to wait for the timer to tick down, and then we're going to wait for them to sort out their setups, and then we'll be away with the formation lap. So I'm looking forward to this Paulie Orange and Infamous Pillars and Alahan actually, because he got right in there, so close to second place with his only one lap, which I think is a bit odd, really. You know, you usually improve on your second or third attempt, but that's the way you wanted to do it. And P3 isn't bad for your first attempt and only attempt.
Yeah, the track normally rubbers in near the end. The only time we didn't see that was in the real life Grand Prix last weekend in Portugal, but normally it does rub in. But yeah, very good lap for you, one and only lap.
Yeah, definitely was for his one and only lap. So yeah, as I said, we're just waiting for the guys to start a set. So you see all the cars jumping around in the bottom right hand corner, which is rather funny. So yeah, we're gonna see. Obviously, so we got a little bit of inter-team play here as well. So there's obviously more than the two drivers in each team. So obviously we're going to have like the overall winner. We're going to have the winner of each team as well. So there is obviously going to be some really good battles that are probably going to happen all through the field. We do hope through the season. Hopefully we'll have 20 runners every week, and pretty much every full-time driver, hopefully if they can attend every week also. But obviously we've got this one to go first, and we'll just see if this is this runs sweet as qualifying did, as we're just waiting for the guys. So. Yeah, definitely. So we'll just get all the delta and positions and things sorted out. We'll have the tyres on just to start off with, I think, and we'll just go with that for the time being. Just see what everyone's on. So yeah, everyone outside the top 10 is oh, so there's someone with a 5 place grid penalty, which I didn't notice. With FIFA Beefy, I've noticed has gone from 11th to 10th, which is nice for him, seeing as he was the first guy on the fresh set. So yeah, he's laughing.
That'd be nice.
As we see here, we've got the predicted pit stop strategies, with the 1 stop for the soft to hard and the 2 stop soft and medium, which I think probably is going to be the lesser of the two strategies. I think the first one's going to be the soft hard will be more preferable. Medium hard, if you obviously, as over half the grid are actually starting on the hard.
I think it was Bloomstar who picked up the penalty, because I think he qualified P7, but then obviously it wouldn't be down to 11. Well, yeah, obviously this is time where you warm tyres, warm brakes up, make sure you're in the zone ready for a league race, because things could get a little hectic at turn 1.
Yeah, well, it's definitely it's quite a good. It's a bit of a catch-22 turn 1, I think, because there's a bit of room on the entry, but it just tightens up, and because it's a long straight from pole position down to turn 1. You know, there's always room for people behind to get good starts and make positions. But anyway, we'll stop talking about that, and we'll talk about what's going on ahead as we see Paulie Orange lining up, and all the rest are lining up also. Let's hope the camera changes a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't want the view of a full set of suspension from right out.
Yeah, I think it will change, but we're just waiting for all the guys. I think they are just about ready to go, as we see now.
5 red lights.
Lights out, and we're away here in Japan, and we're going down into an Infamous Pillars. Had a fantastic start over Paulie Orange, and has made some places there. There's a little bit of hustle and bustle in the middle of the pack, and Paulie Orange is still behind Infamous Pillars. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1 at the minute, with the Evil Hunter making moves on Droftas, and he's made the move there, the BMW over the JCB driver, and all shot down is just ahead of him in 6th position with the Mad Scientist. In 5th position with the JCB, and Denge in the Jag, and Alahan in the Nintendo car. So we've got all 3 different teams in the top 3 at the moment as it stands, and Infamous Pillars still running away in P1 at the moment, but not too far away, only half a second. We've got Andenge making a move on Alahan, and Jag and the Nintendo are going round the not so straight, and yeah, so they're just coming around here. What did you think of that?
Yeah, it's a very good start. It was Gio was the one that caused the yellow flag. Funnily enough, there's a bit of contact there between the Jag and the Nintendo. Oh, very close. It was Gio's the one that went round to the exit at turn 2, which wasn't a surprise really, but really good start from Pillars, who's got I've forgotten the name of the team. The purple car in
MTV.
MTV, that's the one.
Yeah, MTV Formula 1 team's got a little bit of a ring to it, and we saw Paulie Orange there just making a little bit of a lock-up. So just after lap 1, we've got a few places gained. We've got a couple of people falling down there. I don't know, someone made a mistake there.
Some sort of
glitch going on.
Yeah, it's one of those glitches.
Yeah, sorry about that. There was a little bit of a glitch going on at the minute, so we do apologise about that. But Infamous Pillars isn't glitching in the lead at the moment. He's still, and he's making a little bit of a gain on Paulie Orange at the moment. But Alahan is fighting back. These 3, I said before the start of the race, these 3 are going to be fighting it out for the win. It looks like they are going to be fighting out for the win. As my graphics are going all over the place now.
Yeah, mine's going completely mental.
So yeah, it's just coming back now. I think he's just come back again. Do apologise about this. It does say FIFA Beefy is in last place at the minute. He's gone on to the hard tyres. He's obviously had an incident. Maybe he was the yellow flag causer of lap 1 as well, or maybe it was a little bit later on as we're into lap 3 already. So yeah, FIFA Beefy is in last place at the moment. So a few drops. So we'll have a little look. We'll have a little look at the. Just trying to think.
Bit of a battle going on for 14.
Bit of a battle going on for 14th, is there?
Been teammates as well. Oh.
Okay, so yeah, it's Weezjan and against Lee is fighting against each other at the minute, with the Jag of LPE taking out the bollard there of the final chicane of the lap, or the only chicane of the lap really. So there has been a few position changes, you can see on the screen here. There hasn't been any major jumpers at the moment. Droftas and All Shot Down have stayed exactly where they were on lap 1, 6th and 7th at the minute, and Alhan obviously staying there as well. But Infamous Pillars making up on that second place, and he obviously had the grip.
That's a big crash for LP.
So LP is out of the race, and I didn't get to see that, unfortunately. You don't ever get to see it after
he lost it at the first part of the chicane.
And we do have a VSC at the moment, so is there anyone? There's no one near the pit lane. Only FIFA Beefy, which he'll be kicking himself. It didn't happen, his incident didn't happen the lap afterwards, but it really helped him. That's the way of racing. So Paulie Orange is only 4/10 behind. I think Infamous Pillars needs to put his foot down on his delta, because he's going to become vulnerable here if he's not careful. And he's edged out. He has edged out a little bit of a lead before we looked away at some of the other drivers. And so we're going back to the tyres, and top 6 are all on the soft tyres at the moment, with Droftas not far behind at all, right on All Shot Down's rear end at the minute. But we'll go back to the leaders at the minute. We'll see as the green flags are out, and Infamous Pillars plants his right foot down on the firewall, and we're going down towards turn 1, and there is DRS, as it's only a VSC and not a full safety car. And Paulie Orange was nowhere near close enough on that lap to make a move, and Alahan is still in touching distance, but he has lost a little bit on that VSC, I think.
Against Lee has dropped down another position to GEO. I didn't see that. He must have been caught napping at the end of the VSC. But GEO is it a good start comparing the spun exit at turn 2?
Yeah, he definitely has. He's made up some places, and he's got Wiesjam Inich in. He's got Ramsell going round it Dunlop curve, and he's taken a lot of his front wing and put it straight in to the wall, and that's going to be a wing change. He's been very respectful there and waiting to come back on the track, but then he has to go onto the gravel, and this looks like a move for a couple of these drivers. Parnell, I think, is out of the race, so we'll ignore him for the minute. But that'll be a move for FIFA Beefy, most likely, even though he's still a little bit of a way back. As we see Ramsell going into the gravel on Degner 2 as well. But we'll go back and we'll see if there's many battles on track. And we've got Droftas and All Shot Down and the Mad Scientist all really close together. Well, 4 of them either, and Evil Hunter. Sorry. So it's BMW. So it's JCB, BMW, JCB, BMW. This is going to be a really interesting midfield battle in this race. So this will be really interesting to see what happens here. As we're going to see Droftas going to make a move on All Shot Down. He doesn't yet, as it's quite hard to make a move into turn 1. I would probably say turn 1 and the final corner, the final chicane, is the 2 best places to overtake on this track, but no DRS up to the final chicane, obviously, because of 130R would make it really unstable, and of course in real life too dangerous, as we see Droftas taking a little bit of grass on the outside, trying to find the grip is where he can and as much as he can.
Ramsdale's race has gone from bad to worse. He's just picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, yeah, so there we go with FIFA Beefy making the move on Ramsell. I did say that was going to happen, and it has. But he's still got a long way to fight back. Beefy really needs a safety car at the moment, as we see against Lee there fighting with the car through the first Degner, but he was able to keep it on track. As we see Paulie Orange is still within touching distance and DRS distance of Infamous Pillars, the MTV team in P1 at the moment, but he is really fighting it out for his team at the minute. I don't know, he's obviously got a lot of reserve drivers for them today for MTV, because I think he's the only representative car out there today, actually. The only livery, I didn't notice that before.
He's doing a very good job of carrying the flag.
He definitely is. As you see, Paul and Matto fighting away, and Matto goes into the pits, and Paul will not be happy about that, and Mad Scientist and All Shot Down are fighting it away through turn 2, and they're going up the hill, and they got All Shot Down is on the inside, but he gets spun round, and Droftas and Evil Hunter go through, and all shot down is going to be absolutely gutted about that. And we've got Paul coming up on his tail as well, so he's going to be taken by Paul as well, I think, and he has. And Weezjan as well, and CRG Geo, go on lad, he's going to be making some places towards the top 10 now.
Good grief, I thought I'd never see the day. But yeah, the slightest bit of contact and all shot down is round.
As we see it.
Shot out the points.
Yeah, so yeah, that was as we see ice streams, and against Lee having a little bout on ice streams. I think against Lee must have made a mistake there, because it seemed like a really easy pass through Dunlop there. We saw the end product of that move, as we see now coming up to the hairpin. Once again, you can make a little cheeky move at the hairpin if you so dare, but as we see against Lee getting too aggressive on the power there, and the car really fought against Lee then. And
Lee tried to avoid it and lost the back end as Streams locks up and Lee runs wide. Two things you don't want to see.
And we need to go back, because this is like the Eiffel Grand Prix a few weeks ago. We thought it was all shiny at the front, but it's not anymore, because Paulie Orange is taking the lead of this Grand Prix. And Infamous Pillars now is going to have to make a fight to get this first place back, and we don't know when the pit stops are going to come. Probably in about, I don't know, maybe another 6 or 7 laps time, so they're probably about halfway through this stint at the minute.
Obviously depends how well...
As we see Infamous Pillars get a 3-second time penalty there, and really trying to be a bit greedy on that curb. And as we saw at the weekend in Portimao as well, get too greedy, you get a time penalty. So as we see Alahan now going to be trying, and Denge, these guys are now sneaking up on the leaders. We've been, I think they're just trying to fight back a little bit, especially if these guys are going to be fighting, which I think they will be. Is Infamous is not going to let Orange go. And yes, we've got Droftas and the Mad Scientist, the 2 JCB runners, the next highest JCB runners, in 5th and 6th at the moment. A little surprised Droftas is in P5 at the minute, to be honest. I thought he'd be fighting for the win, but there you go. You can always be surprised.
He's done well on the mediums, obviously the softs.
Of course, he is on the mediums, so he could fight back into play later on.
The softs could potentially go away, and a couple of cars go into the pits. A pit stop battle between the Nintendo, I believe, and the Jaguar.
As we see some guys coming into the pits, we've got Andenge trying to make the undercut, I think, on the front 2 guys, to see if that's a way to get up onto their gearboxes. It's a risky move, it's Andenge. So we've got a 2-stop from Alahan there. That's in there. He's sent that, and that's been posted. As we see he's saying that, we've got Paul and we got Wes fighting, and Paul takes the position back, gets the switcheroo at turn 2, and keeps the position there as we go through the S's up the hill to Dunlop. And Weezjan is going to be kicking himself for that. There, he was able to get the switch back on him.
As we see, have to catch up to these two and overtake quite quickly. Sorry for interrupting you, but
that's all right. Yeah, as we see, as Orange has now got out of the DRS window at the moment, but he is well in sight at the moment still. So I don't think it's anywhere near over yet. As we see Infamous there, we haven't got it up on our screen this evening. I chose not to tonight, but as you can see on his dashboard there, as we're on the onboard shot, Infamous Pillars, no battery left whatsoever. And we'll have a little look, and it's looking pretty similar for Paulie Orange, but of course they're going to be pitting in a second. I think my 6th lap extra prediction was wrong.
They're both running extremely low in the RS.
Yeah, and we've got Evil Hunter looking quite tidy on the ERS at the moment, and Droftas is now P3, and he's 7 seconds behind the leaders at the moment. And so I don't know if that's he's going to have to try, and these are really crucial laps for Droftas now to get a few solid, maybe even fastest laps in at the moment, just to try and close out that gap, because his tyres are going to be in the right working range, and these softs are going to be getting pretty ugly now, and they're going to be not on the best side of life. As we see Paulie Orange there taking out tyre life by doing a big lock up into the hairpin, and that would have lost him some time. But we've got Alahan having a little fight, and Paul is holding up Alahan, which is not going to help them because these guys were. And Paul's gone wide, and he luckily saved it from going into the wall and saying night night to his race. And he makes another big look at there. He's got to try and get back into the rhythm again. As we see, George, don't spin now, mate. You're in the top 10. As we see some of the guys, we've got a yellow flag, and against Lee has he's shunted it, and he's out of this race. As we see there, we've got another one. We've got Macho, who's been caught up in it also, and we've also got ice streams. There's been something big going on here, and we've got some sort of glitch going on with Mato, and it's got another VSC, and oh my god, Infamous Pillars and Paulie Orange into the pits under that VSC, and
that's worked really well. That's perfect timing. That's
perfect timing for them too, and not so perfect for Alahan, who's just going to see them just come out in front of them, and he's going to be absolutely, his heart's just going to have sunk then, isn't it?
Got it.
But Droftas, now in the lead of the race.
I think for Droftas, he would have wanted the full safety car.
He really would have wanted the full safety car. That would have been spot on. But what he needs to do now is I think he needs to try and long this out to go to softs at the end. I think he needs to stretch this as far as he can go, and then have the advantage at the end. And I wouldn't say he would. You know, come out in the lead. So I think he would have to. This would be quite an aggressive strategy, but I think it might pay off. It might not. It might have to be a medium hard. We'll see what happens. But let's just see if he can get a gap. Evil Hunter is 3 seconds, almost 4 seconds back, with Bloomstar is just behind Paulie Orange, and Bloomstar's got in between Infamous Pillars and Paulie Orange. So I don't know what's going on there, and I don't know.
Just wanted to say that Bloomstar did just pull over and let Orange by, and I think Bloomstar's pitted in Swarm 3, and he just let Orange go, which is a bit weird. I thought I'd give him a good battle, I would have, but
as we see Matu in the pits there after that incident, we've got Ice Streams, who didn't need to pit, so I don't think he had any damage, which he didn't, fortunately. So obviously he just got caught up in the incident, but didn't come away with any damage whatsoever. George now out of the points, unfortunately. Come on, George, you've only got a ghosting car ahead of you.
Oh yes, as well. And I thought it was only 10th then, but I was wrong.
As we see Paulie, so we still got Bloomstar in front of Infamous Pillars, and I don't know what's going on with Infamous Pillars. He's obviously not got those hards worked up into the right tyre range at the minute, but Evil Hunter is Droftas is still pulling away from Evil Hunter, and we've got a little bit of battle here between. Oh no, sorry, it's just George overtaking the ghost car.
Getting past the ghost car. Nothing to see there.
Nothing to see there. It wouldn't be anything to see anyway when George is racing.
Except for the odd spin, of course.
Maybe just a little one. And anyway, back to not being horrible to CRG Geo. Yeah, so we really need to see Droftas, and I think he's got a good pace at the minute. He's looking good for a podium, at least I think at the minute, with his strategy at the moment. I think he's really going to have to really throw everything and the kitchen sink at it to try and go for the win. As we see CRG Geo getting a 3-second time penalty.
Disappointed, amongst many words.
I can't tell you how disappointed I am, quite frankly. I think he should just be showing the black flag at this point. And yeah, so back to the action as we see Paul now going to have a little fight with the Mad Scientist, and the Mad Scientist making up a load of time on Paul there, as Paul's done a massive lock-up in the Jag into turn 2, and now he's going to be vulnerable.
For the S's, this could result in an overtake quite soon.
Yeah, well, and he's all over the shot. Stay on the black stuff. And you'll be alright, Paul.
I think Paul is staying on the black stuff. We're just not getting any of the racing line right.
And as we see now, let's hope he gets this racing line right, as the mad scientist is making a move down the inside, but he has gone deep, and Paul is going to do a switcheroo at the hairpin, but it didn't pay off, and there was much better traction from the mad scientist in that JCB car, or yeah, especially with the tyres those JCBs have. Yeah, you should get good traction. And yeah, Alahan and is right on the back of Infamous Pillars, and he's right on the back of Boomstar, and he's going to make a move into the final chicane, the famous chicane where Senna and Prost had their coming together in 1989, I believe. And as we see them now coming down to the DRS, straight no DRS in 1989, of course. This is helping Infamous Pillars make the move for P4, net P2 at the moment, because the guys in P1 and P2 have not pitted as of yet.
And Aylan's just gone past Boomstar as well. Obviously a turn one where Prost and Senna also came together.
1990, wasn't it?
Or was it?
Yeah, I think it was the year after, yeah.
I think it was.
I think, yeah. So, anyway, we have, I think everything is calmed down just a little bit. We've just got this battle at the moment. We've got George, 21 seconds behind 11th place. So I don't know if George has had another incident or not. I'm not too sure, but
So.
yeah. So we got we got Paul in P9, and he hasn't pitted either yet, as you see these guys. So I am going to be really interested to see when Droftas and Evil Hunter do eventually make their way into the pit lane, where they are going to pop out. And we can see where Droftas is going to pop out just by looking at the leaderboard. So he's going to come out P7, just behind, yeah, he's going to come out, and P7 is where he'll be, just behind Andenge, in between him and the mad scientist. But he's on the optimum strategy. We've seen Bloomstar coming into the pit, so that's a move for Andenge, and it's going to be a move for the mad scientist and Paul as well. And
No, maybe not. Paul's jumped in.
Paul has now jumped into the pit, so I think he's going to go on to the hard white banded set of tyres, as we see him just leaving the pits now in the Jaguar car, and he's going to come out in front of CRG Geo and behind All Shot Down. So,
yes, that's that sorted. Just waiting for the top two to pit now.
And talking about that, and talking about no action on track, of course we have action on track. We've got Infamous Pillars and Aylan, sorry for pronouncing it wrong, it was only because of hearing other strings, but anyway, Aylan fighting out for net P2 at the minute.
Haven't you missed an overtake? I'm convinced Pillars was in front.
I think Pillars was. I think we may have missed everything. There's been quite a lot of action in these first 14 laps, so I do apologise to these guys, but is Infamous Pillars going to make another move on Aylan now? And he doesn't yet against Lee. Has left the sessions commiserations to against Lee.
On a better run.
Yeah, he has got a better run. So let's see if he's going to make a move. Is Alahan going to defend half of this? He's harvesting. That red light is flashing. It's not a brake light. It is a battery light warning to tell you, the driver behind, that they are not running with the around 180 to 200 horsepower battery pack. And as you can see, it really hurt him on the straight.
So it's all quieted down a bit now.
It has. Not sure if Aylan's going to be thinking that. Especially
say that. Bloomstar and is involved in a battle as Gio's picked up a second penalty the afternoon.
Yeah.
Or evening, as I should say.
He has indeed, and he is on the medium tyres at the moment. Get on with it, George. We want to see some points. And as we see, yeah, Bloomstar and Weezjan are going to be fighting it out, just like Alahan and Infamous Pillars. Which one are we going for? Are we going for the Infamous Pillars or the Bloomstar battle at the moment?
As it stands, I think we should look at the Bloomstar battle, but don't keep an eye out on the thing as Gio's gone for a little spin in the middle of the S's, which is a
Fantastic.
bit of a surprise.
Not. As we see, Ice Streams is overtaking the Ghost Car, so sorry about getting excited about that. And yeah, Bloomstar is right on the tail of Weezjan, and Andenge is gone past Aylin because Aylin's in the pits, and he's got a time penalty there. Yeah, so that's really not helped his race. And is he going to get out? This is going to be close between these guys. Bloomstar these guys are coming down the pit straight as we speak, and he's not got to the giveaway line yet. They've come out ahead, and Alahan is falling behind Bloomstar, and all shot down is going to be having a look as well, but he doesn't need to make a look. He doesn't have time to make a look there as Aylin, sorry, I'm going to keep saying that. Aylin, we've got a yellow flag there at the hairpin.
I think that's just the ghost car of Ramsell, who's just there. Meanwhile, Evil Hunter...
Bloomstar off the track, and he's made a dreadful error there at Dunlop Curve, and so we're not going to be seeing that battle from him and Weezjan anymore, but we got Aylin going to be looking to hunt down Weezjan now, and obviously the mad scientist quite far ahead of the next guys. The top six have really sort of pulled away, and we've got Paulie Orange, who is right on the back of Evil Hunter, and he's going to be taking P2 I believe very shortly. It's not going to be long until Evil Hunter's going to have to give it up, but Droftas has made quite a healthy margin there. So we'll see where he pops out, and I think he is going for that medium soft strategy. I think that is definitely what he's attempting.
He's doubled his lead since he took the lead of the Grand Prix. There's a yellow flag in sector 1.
As we see Ice Streams off just before Dunlop, and seeing a lot of people making mistakes in the S's, but don't worry, it's only a pre-season race, guys. No points on the board, just your reputation's on the line.
Just time for us to laugh at you before the season gets underway.
Yeah, definitely. As you see, there's going to be no laughing in this battle with Evil Hunter and Paulie Orange. BMW versus JCB, two of the mites of the automotive world, so to speak, and would never have thought.
Completely different reasons.
For two very different reasons. But are we going to see JCB making a move on the BMW? I think he's going to have a go down the inside into the hairpin. He doesn't into the chicane, but he doesn't. There was a little bit of a dart from right to left, just a tiny little move, and Evil Hunter goes in. He's had enough, just as Droftas. So Paulie Orange back up into first place, and are we going to see where we're going to see Droftas come out of the pits here? The mad scientist just coming down the pit straight. He's going to come out fourth place. And fourth place with Andenge not too far up the road, and he has got the optimum tyre and the optimum strategy for the rest of this race. This is looking nice and tidy for Droftas for a podium here, providing no penalties as well. And Andenge is got infamous pillars right in his sights, as you can see from the onboard. Just coming under the flyover and around the right kink, easy flat through that corner into the hairpin, and he's getting closer, and Paulie Orange has got a healthy lead for P1.
So Dorath and Evil Hunter have got the quicker tyres, the fresher tyres, so we could see the pair of them come up the field near the end of this Grand Prix. The yellow flag in sector 1 for could have been Paul, but I'm not too sure. As Gio comes into the pits for the softs, obviously trying his best to go for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Two-season tactics, just go for the quickest lap of the entire race.
You watch it be like Tokyo Drift.
I shall keep an eye on it, don't worry. If he spins the exit at turn 2 because his tyres are cold, I won't be surprised. As he is about to get lapped actually, as we speak.
Yes. Keep it up, Gio.
He's not that falling that far behind as he missed that apex. But he's not that far behind, you know. He's keeping up pace with the leaders of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's because he's on the soft tyre.
I was trying my best to ignore that, but he's keeping up pace with the leaders of the Grand Prix.
He's going to make a move for first place.
He's going to unlock himself now.
If only it was for first place, George. If only.
This is the entertainment every viewer wanted to see.
Yes. But I tell you what, they do want to see. They want to see this battle for the podium positions, and Droftas is got Andenge in his sights already, as you see him there coming through the straight that's not so very straight, and coming down into the double of Spoon.
And Diaz has got a penalty, meanwhile Doras hasn't. So as it stands, if the race was to finish like this, Doras would still get his podium by the virtue of penalties.
I think he would like to do it on track though, if he can. I mean,
if he could catch up quickly, he could potentially get the race win.
He really could here. This could be driver of the day. I'm sure it would come up with driver of the day if that was the case, but I think he would be our driver of the day. As his teammate, the guy who's behind him, Mad Scientist, gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
So, on lap 20, are you going to call a race winner, or are you going to back out of the predictions game?
I will answer it, but my question first is, are Paulie Orange and Droftas going to fight hard? Or, because they're teammates, are they going to... Is Orange...
Do they know that Orange has got a penalty?
Does he?
It's the important question.
Does he have a penalty? Does he have one penalty, does he?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
But all the top three have got one penalty.
Anyway, Paul, into the points at the moment as we see Wishan going into the pits, come out the pits on the soft tyres though, so he might be able to fight him back. But we'll have to see about that. But obviously we're coming back to Droftas, and yeah, so I'm going to call it Droftas for the win. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. So Droftas, I think he'll be listening. Don't let me down. Don't let me down now. I should be impartial, but we're not. We're going. It's pre-season race. I can do what I like. Droftas is for the win here.
Yeah, he may as well get the cakes and the biscuits like all the F1 commentators get during their pre-season test. No one offered us any.
Well, let's see if Droftas can take the biscuit and take this P3, shall we?
I was waiting for it.
But I think he's gonna, and we've got a yellow flag set to 1. If there was a safety car now, Droftas would be absolutely laughing. Because I wouldn't pit, I don't think. I wouldn't bother. I think I would just take the track position. But as we're not going to talk about me, we're going to talk about what Droftas is doing. And what Droftas is doing is looking for this third position right ahead of him. And he's got second just up the road as well. And he really could be on for the win here. As he gets on with it, he needs to get past Andenge by the end of this lap. And they're taking a really tight line through the straight that's not so straight. I would have gone right out to the left and back in again. I would have thought would have been the preferable line. But obviously not. See Andenge squirting on the exit for traction. He can feel Droftas breathing down his neck. And is he gonna do a Fernando Alonso? I don't think he is. He's not close enough. But he might make a move into the chicane. He's going to have a go around the outside. He doesn't make a look to the inside, but he is right on the gearbox there. He can smell the fumes from the back of that, on the back of the Jaguar, and he's going to pounce on the Jaguar, and he does. And yeah, he's going to have to. Infamous should be. I think his backside's going to be going a bit like a rabbit's nose. Now.
Well, meanwhile, Evil Hunter is down the inside of Mad Scientist and gets the move at P5.
He has done, indeed. So the BMW of Evil Hunter has overtaken the JCB boys of Mad Scientist, or one of them at least. We have got a first and third for JCB at the moment, with MTV splitting the two JCB F1 drivers, and and Enge in P4 at the moment. But of course, he could still be in the fight for a podium. He could catch up. He could keep up with Droftas and have a fight with Infamous. That is not out of the realms of possibility. But we got to see now how quickly Droftas can make a move. And as you see, a battle here is Wijans and Paul are having a fight here, and Wijans is made a move on Paul, and I don't think that was going to be any competition there between the fresh softs and the moderately used can't say that word. I actually can't say that word.
Moderately is the word you're looking for?
That is the word I'm looking for. And I had a bit of a tongue twister there. Yeah, they've only been used just slightly, I should have said. That would have been easier for me, you know. And but yeah, seeing Paul at the points now, which is a little bit of a shame, as we see the mad scientist has still got DRS on Evil Hunter, so we're going to see if there's going to be a move coming up soon, as we've got Droftas as well, and keeping an eye on that Delta time, and it's coming down. It's down to a second now. It's just about to come under it. There you go. And yeah, we're still on board, or still with Mad Scientist even, and Evil Hunter is just ahead with CRG Geo. Another 3-second time penalty.
Stop cutting corners.
Just get a flight home, mate. I think you need to leave. I'm sorry, George. I'm sorry. We had a plan. And anyway, we're going to come back to the leaders here, and Infamous Pillars is really going to have to fight off. I don't think Droftas is going to get the win. I think he could get second though.
But as it stands, he'd get second.
As he stands, it does. But as I said before, he'll much more likely think it's second if he does it on track. So, but hopefully he will do it on track for us in just a minute, as he is just in the DRS window at the moment, and he does take a
last couple of laps.
This should be. It's gonna get really spicy, maybe gel crazy spicy, or maybe even a little bit hotter. But we'll have to see what happens. Coming out with all the puns today, honestly, just getting them all out before the start of the season. We're just gonna ramp them out, good or bad. As we see him now under half a second behind Infamous Pillars, and we see Mad Scientist coming into the pits, nose change. So he's obviously had an incident, and he's gonna fall down. He's not left the pot. Oh, it's a little bit of a glitch there. He's going to come out. This is going to be very close between him and Bloomstar.
Bloomstar's got it.
Yeah, he's got it. And has Droftas got P2 on the track? Not yet, but it might come in a very short time. It might be the end of this lap, might be the start of the next lap. But he's only got 3 laps after we cross the line to do it, as we see a reserve driver just ahead of them.
That's Geo, isn't it?
Is that Geo? It is Geo.
Yes, it is.
Go on, son. As we see Droftas, as he's going to have, if he looks in his rear view, Geo, he's going to have a good battle. He's going to look at the good battle for second place here. As Droftas going to make a move down the inside of Infamous Pillars, and he's got it. But he could come back here, and as he doesn't get to come back, as we see him harvesting energy there, Droftas just slightly, and I don't think he's not going to be able to make it up to first place. I don't know. Has Paulie Orange got any penalties?
Yes, he has. I can recall him picking one up.
And has Droftas got any?
No. He's got 2 warnings though, so if he has another warning, that'd be a penalty. Just to keep it clean. He does need to keep it clean, and the Mad Scientist has just made a move on Bloomstar for 8th place, but Bloomstar's coming back here on the DRS, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as you see him flying through turn 1, turn 2, as we see Wijans back into the pits again. Not been a good day, and it looks like Paul's going to get some points on the board, and that is looking nice and tidy
for Paul there for a point in this race, even though it's not going to count, but it counts today, as we see Infamous Pillars not giving up on Droftas. He knows he's not got P2 on the road. It's Droftas made a huge error there, but he's kept it. But this is going to be costly, and he's going to make a move round the outside. Infamous Pillars takes back P2 on the road, but as we said before, Droftas on time penalties is in second place.
Maybe Droftas has been using too much of those tyres in his
early stages.
Attempt to overtake him.
Yeah, I maybe think that as well. But he's only got one more DRS zone to go. As we cross the start finish line, will be the final lap.
Technically two, but we let him off one. It's technically a second one if we count the last lap, but there's not much use. As Orange, bit of a moment there, the extra the hairpin. Slight loss at the back end, which is always nice to see as he caught it. He has lost half a second, not more.
Yeah, well, he's about to come round now to start his final lap. As we see, there is Matto and Ramsell towards the back, having a little bit of a battle for the final positions of this race. We see someone leaving the session now. I think didn't mean to be in here, as we see Ramsell still ahead of Matto. But we'll come back to the fight for second at the minute, and then just slightly behind. Evil Hunter really fell back towards the latter part of this race, actually. And are we going to see Infamous losing P2 on the road, and Droftas thinking against making the move there, and he was a little bit apprehensive there into turn one, I think.
A little bit too far behind.
And also a little bit too far behind, as we see Matto spinning round, and he's just gone off at the final corner. I was just coming back to them to talk about that little battle and seeing where they were getting on with, but I don't think that's going to be VSC or anything like that. It is the last lap of the race, and we'll go back to Droftas and Infamous Pillars, as we see this that slight camera shot there of the two drivers. But yeah, I think Droftas is going to get second place, but I don't think he'll get it on the road unless he thinks of a little lunge into the hairpin at the end. But except the last time, into the chicane at the end. I don't think he'll risk it, to be honest. No point. So we'll just see now if they are going to make a move. But before we do that, Gio picks up another penalty. Before that, we're going to see Paulie Orange making his way around the final chicane. He put it on pole, and he's made it a win. He wins the pre-season Japanese Grand Prix. And are we going to see... We didn't see a move, and Infamous Pillars comes on the road, P2, but he finishes P3. Droftas, probably going to get driver of the day from me and from the game itself, would be my guess. Infamous P3, and Denge has come on P4, and we're going to have a little battle for P5. I don't think Denge is going to make a move into the final corner. He was a little bit too far back. Fifth for the BMW of Evil Hunter. Nintendo coming home. Oh, sorry, P5 for Alan, and P6 for Evil Hunter. All shot down is the next man to cross the line. There's another little close battle. Not close enough, though, for the last chicane. For the Mad Scientist, he almost loses it there into the final couple of corners. That would have been absolutely heartbreaking. And Mad Scientist goes up to P7 on penalties. Bloomstar, not the best race today. P9. And the last man to cross the line is Paul in the Jag. He comes home with the final points position, as long as he can make it through 130R and the final chicane to take the final position.
Everyone else has finished the Grand Prix.
Yeah, he will. So he is the last man to cross the line. His 11th to 15 were lapped. And yeah, there we go. So that is our pre-season race of the Japanese Grand Prix. Oh, and his Wijan got driver of the day. I was surprised. So did a bit of a disservice there to Wijan. I do apologise, but for me personally, I think Droftas would have had my driver of the day just on strategy alone.
I agree as well. A very good race in fairness. Really well done for the GCB, who finished on top. Tractor team racing, or whatever it's called. And, very good race. I enjoyed that. Great fun for a pre-season race anyway. Hopefully next week we can start the business and have a good championship.
Yeah, I'm just gonna double check. We won't leave it just yet because I'm not 100%. I know we're in pre-season. We'll just go through the final classifications one more time. So Paulie Orange for the JCB team. It's a 1-2 for the JCB boys with Droftas and Paulie Orange taking those two positions. P3 is Infamous Pillars. 4th is Andenge. 5 is Alan. 6th is Evil Hunter. In the BMW. P5 was of course Nintendo. P7 is the Mad Scientist. In the other JCB, it's been a good showing for the top 10 for the JCB drivers today. All shot down. P8, P9 Bloomstar. P10 for the final point. Sorry, no, not the final point. I've been saying that. I've got to get used to the new point system. It's not the final point at all. But obviously, today we'll just call it was, as this was just a pre-season race. So technically today, Paul got the final point. Weejan, P11, P12 is CRG Geo. Parnell was, I couldn't finish because I never can. But I already gone through it before. But yeah, actually, sorry, we're going to go back and say we're probably not going to go away. I'm just going to check with a couple of the guys in the league if we're going to do any interviews today. I'm not 100% sure if we are not. We will be doing them 100% in the starting from next week in the real event. So I'm just going to double check. But yeah, definitely. So we'll just wait for a response. And obviously, just as standard, we have the top three guys in the interview.
Yeah, this is the worst part of being a commentator, waiting to get the all clear if you're doing interviews or not.
Well, I have just asked CRG Geo. We're probably not his best friend at the minute, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we'll just see. My phone is absolutely lighting up, so potentially. Yeah, we are going to be doing some interviews. I've just seen. Sorry about that little wait. So we'll just get that all sorted. So we'll just get those. We'll get those invites in. I know if we get Droftas in anyway, he'll be able to help me out as he's one of the leading guys in this league. So yeah, we've got Droftas, we've got Infamous Pillars,
And poor Orange.
and Portly Orange.
Who won the race? Happy Orange,
Happy Orange. There we go. Right, yep. So I've just I've actually got all three. So I've just invited all three of the guys.
And George turns up. It's a great start.
All right, guys.
Yeah. So we've got CRG Geo. Yeah. Sorry, George. We had a little thing where we were just going to be horrible to you today.
It's okay. I didn't actually know if you said anything, but never mind. I mean, I had a bit of a stinker, to be honest. I hadn't practiced before, so naturally went out a little bit unprepared. But I believe you've got Orange, Droftas, and Pillars joining you in for an interview now. So take it away, boys.
I think we got everyone in now, haven't we? Yeah. Now he is. Here he is. Right then. So, Orange, well done, mate.
Thank you very much. It was a hard race. Had a couple of moments. Almost killed myself, but Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a good showing. Obviously, Pillars having you on the start there must have got you a little bit worried.
I don't know what happened on that start. It's like the lights were going out and he was gone. It was nuts. What a start.
He did
I'm
a.
gonna do that again. He better not
He,
anyway. No chance.
he did. So he's saying he did a Bottas Austria. Then is what he's saying. Is that what you're saying?
It was quicker than that, mate. It was quicker than that. What was Bottas? 0.02 or something. That was 0.00.
Well, anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And to be fair, obviously there was a few little rusty moments with people, but the battling all seemed to be quite good, to be honest. So it seemed like a good good to carry on with. But yeah, Droftas, me and Yasdin's driver of the day. How about that?
Cheers.
Well, that's what.
I thought I'd try something different.
Yeah, well, I did call it saying that you should go on the softs. Thought, why not? So I honestly, we did just have I don't know if you were listening. I did put you on for the race win. I'm going to say it now. So
I think the VSC stopped that. It came out when Orange and Pillars were both in the pits, which obviously helped them. But it was still good fun. It was good fun in that race. Medium soft worked, which is nice for future.
It's the last race of next year, or next season, isn't it? So we've started at the end in a weird way.
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah, so we'll see what that happens to be. But Pillars, mate, commiserations.
Yeah. Well, I think the start of the race was amazing, and then obviously when Orange got me, I didn't bother battling that too hard and stayed with him to the pit stops. But yeah, from down on those softs, luckily got him, but he made a mistake with leaving his overtake on, so managed to grab him. But no, it's a good race. Japan isn't a strong track, so happy to be through.
You looking forward to Under the Lights next week? You three?
No. Hate it. Absolutely hate it.
Yeah, Singapore's great fun.
Yeah, for you, old Mr. Street Circuit Master. For us normal people over here, mate, we struggle.
I like Singapore. Don't know what you're on about. It's a good track.
Singapore's good. Singapore's a good laugh.
So yeah, no, you've definitely thrown us all in the deep end next week. Longest race, longest for us to commentate on. Really.
Yeah, well, we've got three guys from Part 1 missing tonight as well, so it'll be interesting to see where they slot in.
Yeah, I was wondering because I didn't know about reserves. Who was in?
Oh, well, as it was a test race, we might have accidentally made the lobby so friends could join. So we had a couple of guys that shouldn't really have been in that race.
Yeah,
I did think that there was a few livery changes. So, but anyway, more the merrier, eh?
Yeah, we'll give you a full list before next week.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks very much, guys. That was really enjoyable, and it was quite good throughout the field. Actually, there was battles all through. So it's good for the future, and well done again, Orange. I'm sure to see you here again.
Yeah, I look forward to watching it back.
I'm not.
No. I'm just going to fast forward past the start and
There's
then watch the rest.
There's a few bad puns in there. We will just admit that. We thought we'd get some out of the way. Now.
That's fine.
So, but yeah.
Is there about draft death?
Yeah. Well, mostly we just were horrible to George, to be honest. But anyway, right. So we will wrap it up here. Thanks very much, guys, for joining us. Thanks to my co-commentator as well, who's been very quiet throughout all that. I've just been doing the chatting throughout the interviews there. Do you want to ask any questions, actually? Before we,
no, not really. Nothing much to said. You've covered everything.
I've covered the basis. Nice. Right, okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us here in this pre-season test. And as we were just saying a minute ago, we will see you next week at 8 o'clock at Singapore. So I hope to see you there. Make sure to like, share and subscribe on the video. And obviously keep safe. And yeah, look after each other.